We're done. We finished S9 finally. Uh, Now, scenario 9 does not mean, it is not the ninth scenario. And I don't number the scenarios because I don't want to tell people what scenario we're working on. You'll know the name of the scenario. I do put that in there, it's Frozen Crypt, that we just completed. You'll know what it is when you get there. So it's kind of trying not to give away too much of spoilers. Depending on where you are in the game, I may get ahead of you, I may get behind you. If I'm behind you, it's not much of a spoiler. If I'm ahead of you, it's only a spoiler if you kind of know the path I've gone so far. If you've been watching each and every one, you follow the same paths, you might have an idea of where I'm headed, of what I'm doing. But the idea is just try to make it a little less spoilery. Okay, so let's finish up the S9. We actually completed it in my last stream, but here we're going to go ahead and read the finishing conclusion, and then we're going to head back to Frosthaven. Silence is something we are beginning to treasure. All around, the crypt is littered with broken bodies, the dusty remains of the undead horde smashed to bits. The altar, which had been pumping out its necrotic fume, now decorates the floor as rubble. In its place, a beam of eerie green light trickles with a new gap in the wall. We move closer and discover a passage that appears to lead farther down. It's clear the complex continues, and that bizarre power lies hidden within. The question is whether it's worth investigating. The other option, of course, is to continue hunting the Elgoks that dropped us in here in the first place. However, after we scrambled our way out of the pit, we realized that our quarry's track leads from forest out into the frozen tundra. Attempting to follow without the right equipment would be suicidal. If we want to give chase, we'll have to come back with our sled. And I do reread these in a different person state. I don't read them as though it's talking to me as so much as it's us. And I do reword things according to the situation that I'm currently in. We already own a sled. This does not. This states that you will need a sled. So I would just refer to we'll have to come back with our sled, which we currently have left in Frosthaven. Thank you, Cesar, for reading that for us. What we've gained is a couple more wood and access to 2 more scenarios. Which would be the catacombs, glowing catacombs, and the crystal enclosure. So I throw on a couple more items that are available to us. And so that's our choices. We have, one is glowing catacombs. I'm just going to write it down because I want to remember what they are. I don't want to have to go look. And crystal enclosure. And I'll probably just have to erase these at some point because it's taking up too much of my space, but I just want to know what they are. I don't even know what number I completed, to be honest. I think it was, oh yeah, I remember. Scratch that one off. Okay. Okay, so we had a couple good things happen in that one. We got some more experience, of course. Everybody leveled up. We did manage to, obviously we beat the guys. We didn't pick up a lot of the loot once again, even though it was a fairly convincing win. We were really down low on turns. We probably had maybe 3 or 4 turns left. Actually, of course, at the end, I had Tenya, or Cressith, I'm sorry, Cressith was going through, and she was just blowing all of her big spells. I mean, which means they were all throwaway spells. So she threw away like 4 or 5 cards, just hitting as hard as she could at the end, and just doing as much damage as she possibly could. As a result, she actually, I think we avoided her exhausting, but it was the last turn. She had no more actions. What she did is she rested on that last turn, and we killed the monster on that turn. So she didn't actually get to, she didn't actually exhaust out and pass out. I had her sitting on a loot, but since her turn never came up, she didn't get to pick it up. She was doing her long rest, and I was going to have her pick up the loot at the end of her long rest. And then she would have just passed out because that was the end. That would have been the end of her turn. I thought about taking an extra turn. Adrian probably could have done another 1 or 2 turns. The creature was wounded down to 2. They don't heal themselves. He probably could have just bled out, and I could have tried to pick up a couple more loots. But I decided not to push my luck because you never know what bad stuff could happen. Adrian was in good shape. She had a decent amount of health left, so it didn't matter. But at the end of that, we did get the treasure that was in there, which was just 3 loot, which is good because we only picked up 1 other loot throughout the campaign or throughout the scenario. And so we got 4 loot. It was mediocre. I just gave Adrian, being as generous as she is, allowed Cresseth to take all the loot. Additionally, the campaign gave us 2 more wood. Big whoop, that was nothing. But Adrian did level, and Adrian completed a couple of good things. She actually got both her masteries on that one. She used up 3 area effect spells on 3 different monsters, which was one of them, and then the other one was she has to summon a banner at the first turn, keep it within range of 3 of her throughout the entire scenario without losing it, without it dying. And she succeeded at that. She managed to keep keep the banner going within 3 of her the entire time. So she actually got both of her masteries. As a result of getting both the double perk, her double perk was to not do any basic actions. I did no basic actions on the entire turn. In fact, I don't even think I had her pass, which was weird because previous attempts, I had to pass because I had no actions to do. Pass certain things. It says do not perform a basic action. She may have had to pass once or twice on the attacks between moving into the next room because there was nothing to attack. So she may have passed on those, but she didn't do any basic actions. So no basic attacks, no basic moves, nothing like that. She did all that. So that was pretty good. But that was also worth 2 perk marks, resulting in her hitting another perk and moving 1 check into the next perk. As a result of that, she got 3 perks, which was awesome. Took me some time to decide what to do. I went with getting her a couple. I got her 4 more cards added to her deck, her modification deck, which now she has a pretty big deck. 2 of them were all 4 of them are rolling. 2 of them are I do 1 heal, and 2 of them add +1s. And they're all rolling, so that'd be interesting. We'll get a lot more rolling. Also, I put in another. What was her other thing? I added. Oh, I took out another -1 for a shield roll. So we have 1 less -1 in there as well. I really like those ads and the rolls. Those are kind of cool. But she also has enough experience to level to 4. And we're going to take care of that as well. We do have an Outpost event we got to take care of first. And then once she gets into that part of the process where she gets to level up, we will add yet another perk to her. And there's some good perks. I really like adding those +1s. I also like removing the -1s. I have 1 more removal of a negative card. And I might do that one, which is just another shield. So she's got these heals and these shields. Those are all going to help keep her from taking much damage. And she's all the way up to 15 health, which is only 1 extra point. Big whoop, right? So, no, it's 16 health. And then she gets 1 for her cloak, so she'll have 17, which is significantly good. So it's 2 more health overall with the way she's been playing. And with these extra heals and shields, hopefully more often she's going to be taking less and less damage. Plus she's got a heal potion, so she can do a lot of, tanking, where she'll just be able to get in there, take some smacks for her team, while hopefully doing the support, which is what she kind of is, figuring out ways to do support using her banners and stuff, kind of taking advantage of those things. We actually had 2 summons at the end of that, which was pretty good too. So we'll level her up on this next one, and let's get to the Outpost phase. We have traveled back. We did scramble out of the hole. We haven't decided if we want to continue chasing this Algox, or if we want to go back down into that cave and go check out the glowy thing. We'll talk to Royce about it. Royce is Adrian's partner, And we'll decide if Cresseth is going or Tenya is going. Or if just Royce and Adrian want to take this one on together, having not adventured together since they defeated. I'd like to get Cresseth to level 2 at least, but she's a little ways away. It takes a long time really to get him to level 2, surprisingly enough, especially when you soften the levels. She's at 26 right now. I mean, she has to hit 45. So for her to get there, that's another 24. Or no, it's only it's 14, 19 experience. 14, 19, 14. Yeah, 19 experience, and she'll have to. And she only got 26 because she failed on 2 attempts with Adrian, and those gave her some bonus. So I don't know if 19 is doable, unless it's probably doable if we can finish it at the proper level. But level goes up on this one, so even if I soften it, it's still level 2 for us. So. We almost beat it at level 2. We got there a couple times, but things did not work out. We kept getting stopped by stupid stuff. Bad luck. Okay. All right, so the first things we do with our outpost phase, you know what? I still haven't fully memorized it. I know the first thing we do is go back to town, and I believe we just do an outpost event. But the order of things is kind of the big trick, right? So first thing we do for the outpost phase, passage of time is actually the first thing. So put another week down. Now we do the outpost event. Oh, okay. We're getting close to another thing. Oh, that's a road event. Oops. Outpost event right here. Okay, so we were settling in for the night when a stern knock raps against the front door to our longhouse. It's a squat, sweaty quattro mail carrier, intent on making a delivery to our longhouse. He's commas are all in the wrong place there. Sorry for that. We look at the package. We look at the package. The address is right, but the name belongs to a previous resident who met an unfortunate end under an Algox raider's fist. We nod non-committally and accept the package. We've saved the mail carrier a long trip back from the box. Really, now we just have to figure out what to do with it. Okay, so we can keep the contents for ourselves, or we can pass it along to some of the previous residents' friends. What's the right thing to do? Well, the right thing would give it to the friends, right? Because that's what Adrian wants to do. Royce is like, hey, let's open it up. I wanna check this thing out. Cresseth is sitting back. Cresseth's of the point, she doesn't feel like she's part of the team yet. I mean, she has journeyed with them, but she is just kind of like new. She's the new guy. Cresseth or Royce and Adrian are good friends. They've been together for years and years, and so she hasn't really chimed in. Royce turns to her and goes, "So what do you think? What is your opinion, Cresseth? Should we let him? Should we open this thing up?" And she looks at him and, well, if it were me, I'd probably want to do it. Sure, I think we should go ahead. We've been working hard to save this town. We deserve whatever's in there. Adrian, like once again, being the paladiness kind of person she is. I don't know, guys. I really think that we should go ahead and return this to the families. I know we could always use more goodies, but karma doesn't belong to us. It probably belongs to his family. Who knows? This could be something important to them. Cresseth, being who she is and not feeling, she says, I'm good either way. Roy says, oh man, you're such a goody two-shoes. Fine, we'll give it to him. We'll deliver it to him in town. So they decide to take this thing back to town. So we go ahead and pass it along to some of the previous residents' friends. We find some of the dead guards' companions at the barracks and hand off the package. Opening it is a somber occasion, but ultimately all of the homemade items inside lift the soldiers' spirits, and using them brings back fond memories of their friend. We gain a morale. Okay, I don't know. Is that going to help us? What good? Morale's good, right? Everybody's happy. The town is happy. Okay, so where's morale at on this thing again? Morale. We're up to 6. Woohoo! Outpost phase number 3, building operations. That's oh, we gotta do building operations before we get a level up yet. So building operations is where we get to repair stuff and build stuff. Get to add new stuff to our map. More stickers, people, more stickers. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a little room here so I can get my map on the board. Still have my gameplay up from last attempt. Got a nice thick modification deck for Adrian going into the next round of battling. That ought to be an interesting outing. I'm looking forward to trying out her new deck now. She got all kinds of cards in there. I really do like the rolling stuff. We're gonna get to do more to this in a minute, but I still want to put it away a little bit. See if it fits in my modification deck baggie. Alrighty. And she's gonna get to do more cards, which is great because when you only get 10 and they never give you more, it'd be nice if there was a card that says add an extra card to your deck, because 11 would be nice. It's like you just get more cards you have to decide to leave behind, right? I mean, hopefully you're leaving more ones. Hopefully the cards are good enough that you're taking the level 1s out so you don't have those. So far they've been better enough that I have been. But sometimes there's some good level 1s that I kind of have gotten used to having available to me. So some of these are going to have to be some upgrades to those cards so I never feel bad about taking them out. And sometimes even that lower one isn't so bad, you know. All right. Let's put away some guys here. Gotta watch me clean up. Apologize. Should have cleaned up before. I know. Be a good streamer. Don't make the crowd watch you do this stuff. Hey, look, nobody has to watch anything. I would like to go through. I've noticed that this is just a streamer bit of stuff while I talk here. Viewership is about 15 to 20 minutes per, which means they're either watching just the end, or they're watching just the beginning, or they're skimming through and watching a few minutes all the way across. I don't know how, what's the preferred moments of the stream or how people are watching 15 to 20 minutes. That's the average viewing time, it tells me. And that's about right, it seems like, on almost all the streams, which is interesting. Ideally, I'm thinking I should try to figure out how to shorten these. So I might, if I feel the urge, is to have start creating abridged versions of these streams where I go through and cut out a lot of the talk and just make it so that it's not so much of a... So people who want to watch 15 minutes can watch the whole stream in 15 minutes. It'll already be abridged. We'll see how that works out. Maybe I'll do 1 or 2 and see if that... Because I've noticed that even the old streams are getting watched by some. And they, like right now, this whole bit I'm talking to you right now, nobody wants to see that. This whole little cleanup. But this is the live. This is what you get with live. You get some bonus jibber jabber. Look at these ice wraiths. I mean, there's a lot of them. There's 6 ice wraiths. I don't know, man. Don't know if I'm looking forward to having to fight 6 ice wraiths. only had to fight 2 so far. I may never have to fight 6 because that's a 4-person thing probably. But even if they throw 3 or 4 at me, that's still a lot of ice wraiths. I would like to find cards that not only do stuff, but they also increase like your loot range and stuff and that kind of thing. Because I really need to start picking up more loot, because it's going to be problematic. If I don't start picking up loot, I'm going to suffer significantly in that I won't be able to buy stuff or upgrade stuff or do anything. But these things are difficult, especially at their suggested levels. Picking up loot is challenging. So I gotta start calculating in that. So, you know, killing stuff and then moving is the best way to do it, right? So if you do the kill first and then move, but then you gotta plan for hits on the first action and then moves on the second action, which is a little bit trickier. And sometimes those moves are longer than one, and you don't really want to just move one, right? So you got to figure out how to do that. Can be a tricky thing to figure out. So staying organized with all this stuff is half the battle. If you stay organized, it's a little easier to find what you're looking for, but at the same time, it's always going to be a slog. Setting up is always a thing. You might be able to cut down 10 minutes off of it, 15 minutes, who knows, but you're still going through a lot of the setup. I don't want to take out these guys too far away because they are probably coming up if I do one of these other scenarios. Alrighty. Should be enough room now to effectively get my map on the board. Let's do that. Now I'm thinking it's getting to that point where I need to put up some town defenses. So I'm gonna put up a fence on the building if I have the stuff. I don't even know. I don't know yet if I even have the what do you call it? The equipment, the resources to do it. So, but that is this point. So let's grab my current situation of my current buildings. At some point I need to do a random scenario. I think my 11th scenario will be a random. Scenario 10, I'm going to stop. I'm going to do a special stream where I do a review of the game through 10 levels. I'm not going to really talk about which specific scenarios I did or through 10 scenarios, but I am going to say what I think and what I've come up with and kind of give that up. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, be sure to check that out. Okay, so first thing I do, I can buy more something. First thing, buy some wood. Let's buy some wood. Yeah. I didn't actually get that much gold either. It was pretty bad. The whole thing was pretty weak. But we do have gold, and I am going to, as a team, let's buy some gold. Buy some wood. It's only one, but we will take it. I'm going to have Adrian buy some wood for 2 gold. Each of the following is an upgrade that can be built in any order, so that's part of our building stuff. The alchemist doesn't do anything. We also need to get some iron, so we'll do another 2 gold. Cresseth only has 4 gold. So we're just going to go ahead and have Adrian buy it. Adrian will once again take it down to 16, and she's going to go ahead and buy 1 iron. We can also buy a pelt, which we will do. Let's see what... how much gold does Royce have? Where's Royce's pack of goodies? Good question. Where did I put Royce's Royce's thing? You know, I think I'm organized sometimes, but then I actually try to function. Where's Royce's bag? Oh, yeah. All right. He's got some gold too. He's only got 12 gold. They're both going down fast in gold because we're not doing the looting. Our lack of looting is killing us, and got to figure out how to do that. Royce wants a pelt. Sure. Cost him 2. And he gets a pelt. No effect. And the barracks. What does the barracks do? I can add people to the barracks, but I don't need to because we're already at max capacity. As of yet, we don't have to do stuff. We're gonna want to get stuff upgraded though, so yeah. Yeah, I think, let's see what they cost to build up a wall. Let's just increase our wall strength because we're gonna get attacked. There's no doubt to it. The only wall I can upgrade is one here. It has 2 prosperity. Oh, there is a 1 prosperity wall here also. I don't think it really matters which one I upgrade, but it does cost 10 gold and 4 wood just to do the first level, or to do the. It looks like we can do any of them as long as we have the stuff. They don't appear to have a what do you call it? A particular. That one costs. I don't know which one I want to do. I think I'll do that. They both cost 10 gold. Do I have 10 gold? Well, between the bunch of us, we got 26, 30 gold. If everybody chips in, how much did I give to the town? Do they have any gold left? No, Frosthaven supply is wiped, man. Dang. That's not great. So, alright, well, everybody pitch into Frosthaven, man. I'm going to have everybody pitch in. Cresseth's going to throw in at least 1. No, let's say 2. He's going to throw 2, and it's half her gold, and that'll bring it down to 8. We will have Royce pitching 2 as well. That'll put him down to 8 gold. That's 4. And then we're just going to have Adrian cover the rest, so down to 10 gold, so that's 6. So the gold is paid for. We have to get the resources in wood. We will do 211. Ugh. All right, 211. 2 of Adrian's. We're all pitching in, paying to upgrade these walls. I hope this is useful to us. The problem is, they come and destroy stuff. So these bad guys come and they come and fight and break stuff down. All right, so the wall is upgraded. We've got us a basic wall. Let's get us a J wall. Probably a sticker. Let's see here, J wall. Here we go. J wall +5 defense. Wonder if we would have done the other wall. Is it bigger defense? No, they're all +5. It's really kind of hard to lay these out. I'm trying to figure out how to do this so that it actually touches, you know, it doesn't look bad. There we go. +5 defense. We got us a wall. So does that actually, do we have to add? Oh, we do. We have to add 5. So what is our current defense? How do you do that? So we added 5 defense, but the defense here is just like -10, -5. Oh, the morale. Oh, I see. Morale has me at 0. So morale adds defense. But is there like a place to add? Oh, total defense. Here it is. Okay, so we're at 0. So we're actually, I guess we're at 5. So 0 + 5 is 5. But at least we're not negative right now. So we've got a 5 defense total overall. It's good. And if we get attacked, we're better off than we were a moment ago. Okay, so that's our building increases, building betterments. So you're only allowed to do 1 building upgrade per, as far as I'm aware. You can build a new building or a new thing. Or upgrade. You can upgrade a thing or build a thing. But that's all you got. So if you want to be able to get all that going, you're going to need more stuff and more turns. So slowly but surely, our place will get better. But that's the end of our actions. So building walls does not show up on your buildings because they're not buildings. You're just making your wall better. You're plugging in the holes so bad guys can't run in and beat you up. Oh, do I need any of these for my last part? No, I guess not, since we didn't upgrade. Brew and distill. We could do 2 herb potions, craft items. That's it. So we can do up to 2 herb potions if we have it. I don't even know that we have any herbs, to be honest. Our herb situation is not good. But let's go ahead. I think the next step is actually we get to do our rest time or downtime. Yep, downtime. This is where we get to level up Adrian. Adrian is now available to get her new perk and get a new card. I don't even know what they are yet. Haven't looked at them. So let's go ahead and see what the cards are. Do I have a nice little reference to what all goes on? Because I always forget what goes on with the level up. It's not much. It's not complicated, but you know, you get to do a perk, you get to do a card, you obviously level up your let's see, add an ability card. Oh, add 1 new ability card to their pool. Okay, yeah, well, that's the ability card. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. First steps. First step is add an ability card. Dun, 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 dun. Those are my regular deck. Let's go see what number 4 allows Adrian to do. We will need a new sleeve and a couple level 4s. Okay, so we can do any of the 2, 3, 1. I can add another 3, another 2, or one of the 2 4s. Either way, I can add 1 new card of the cards that we now have available to us. So if for some reason I think the 2 or the 3 is better than both of the 4s, I can do that way. Usually I think you're trying to go up. I mean, usually I would hope they're better, but we don't know. Ultimately, it'll probably result in 1 level 1 not being in the set. But let's see what our new toys are. Oh, wow. That's going to be hard. Okay. Wow. This one requires 2 allies. This is the Boldening Blow. It does 4 damage. You target one enemy in the red hexes. Oh, one enemy in the red hexes is disarmed. All allies in the blue hexes of the attack ability. So all the allies that you have in that area get a blessing. No, not a blessing. A blessing? Yeah, they get to add a blessing to their deck. That's nice. But not all allies. How does that work? That's interesting. Because like if it's, because allies could be, you know, a summon, but they don't get blessings. How does that work? Because summons are considered allies when you're moving people around. So I'm curious how that works. All allies in the blue hexes of the attack ability get a blessing. So where do you put the blessing for those allies? For your summons that use your deck. Summons use your deck, but they're considered allies. Now you could have allies that are just joining you for the party, so you can put it in the ally deck. There is an ally deck for like when you have people that join you just to be there. And then of course any of your teammates are also allies, and they have their own deck. But when your summons are there and they're part of the attack, where does the blessing go for them? Does it go into your deck? Huh. Interesting. Which is good. I'll take it, you know. But still, you have to be in the center. So you have to have two guys next to you with all the monsters with at least four, well, not at least, but up to four monsters surrounding you. That's a good attack, but it's a tough one to do. It does provide more ally movement, and it's it would give me a second card that moves to, which I use a lot. I usually like this ability. The other one I have that she has, which might be a direct upgrade to a card I use a lot, which I do like, is the I have a 2/2 movement card. And it's allies within a range of 2 move 2, and I move 2. But now I move 2, and it's allies within a range of 3 get to move 3. That's more significant, because that means I get to move my 2, and I can get out of reach. See, that part of the problem used to be like if I have two guys next to each other, I'd move 2, or like if I'm trying to keep my banner behind me and I move 2, I'd get 3 away and I couldn't move him. 2 and 2. 2 and 3, however, means I can be in front of him by 1, move 2, and I'm still in range, and I can move him again 3 and catch him up. So that's actually really good. It'll help my banners stay behind me if I don't want them to get destroyed by being in front of me, because they are the first target if they're picking between us. So having them go with keeping the banner behind actually becomes a little easier there. So I'm actually leaning on that one, but I don't know what it is yet. Oh, but this other one gives me my falcon. I've been wanting to get a falcon. She has a falcon. I wanted to get my falcon in play. Let's see what it does. Well, it's a flying. Oh, he's got 1 hit point. He's got 1 hit point. He can do 2 damage, but he keeps coming back. So it's a reusable card that just can move 3, does 2 damage. That's, yeah. I mean, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything special. Like, and it is a 4, and the top, the air. This is air support. This is what this one is. Let's see. Is there a way to do this in a way that keeps this readable? Nope. No easy way to make this readable for you. Sorry. Trying to let my guys hold it up for you, but I don't know if I can make it doable. If I keep knocking them away. Okay, so there you go. It adds air support. So the top one is actually a range attack that does 4 damage. That would be a big hit, because I don't have, like I said, Adrian has very few attacks that can do a lot of damage. In fact, most of her range attacks right now are 2 with ways to boost them, with the exception of the javelin, which can do 3. But it doesn't have anything special going on beyond that. It does, it fuses the wind, does 3 damage. This one is 4, and it has range of 3 and and piercing of 2. These are both good. To be honest, I think I like the air support. Oh man, the Falcon's okay, but I like the air support. The 3 damage with the piercing going through shields is big deal. Um, the boldening blow is nice. It does 4, can hit up to 4 guys if you get surrounded and have a couple friends near you. You might be able to really wreck some stuff, but it's also problematic. This is a tough spell to get off. I wish I could take 2 of them and give up other low cards and take both of them, but you can only take 1. So I could see me wanting to take one of these. I could see one of these coming back into play if I don't like the 5s. The moving allies bit really helps, especially when you're trying to move through an area, and if she's going to be like picking up the backside. I'm curious what the. I'm not going to look at the 5s. I'm kind of seeing a 5 here, but in that last battle, for example, if Adrian's in a situation where she can get herself into the middle of a crowd with her friends behind her, she can do a lot of damage, but it's also difficult to get 2 allies in place. That'd be like bringing in a banner and having a buddy there. 2 allies in place is tough, but also moving 2 guys is really nice. So the 2 best things about these are obviously on opposite cards. A 4 damage range attack that pierces, that I don't need any help. I don't have to have partners helping me. And it infuses the win, making more opportunities for my other wins. I think I have to go with that one. I really like letting I really like being able to move. The idea of moving guys pretty good. This one does that. See, this one lets you move your allies. It's good. The emboldening a blow on the top is pretty good, but I'm struggling with the odds of getting that off. It's a lot more difficult. It's another card I need help with. I need to get 2 people in the battle to help me. Does a lot of good stuff. It's 4 damage on multiple people. It's all good stuff. But I also like the movement. That's all good stuff. But it's hard to get a multi-attack off like that yet. This other one lets her just do her thing. 4 damage at a long range with piercing is going to be really good for punching through those stinking shields on people. And if she really wants to, if she's feeling the need, she can call in her Falcon to do something, and it'd be cool to have the Falcon in play. I don't know if I'd use it a ton, because if it's more of one of those just need a guy in play, I'm going to cast him because I want him out. And it's a 20. That one is a 72, which means, again, she won't be able to move first. I'll just have to take my ally movement from another card. Let's see what we would give up for these. So if I don't want to give up my ally movement, of all the cards I have, I like driving inspiration because it's a range. I'm trying to think if we're just going to upgrade one of my range attacks, okay? Because really, other cards, you want to go apples to apples, right? Giving up, for one, you don't lose these cards. But I'm just saying, if in the event that I would actually play that card, which card is it going to replace? You get all your cards, all the cards you have available, your 15, 16 cards, 17, 18, 19, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be more and more. You get to keep them all, but you only get to play 10 each time. So which card is it that's going to get benched, essentially, for this card in most cases? Oh, by the way, did I mention I was playing Head of the Hammer wrong? I was totally reading it wrong. I was thinking it was me on one side and them on the other. I had to get in front and back of the guy, and it's not. It's basically another tip of the spear, and it makes it a lot better. It's actually a lot better card now that I see it as a tip of the spear versus a version of, what is my other one? Pincer move. Pincer moves where you have one on each side. And I don't know why I was looking at that wrong. I was just... Honestly, I think this one would replace my javelin. Because the javelin, if for cards I won't be using often, I would think the javelin has the same range, one less damage, and doesn't pierce. And the bottom half, if I chose to use it, it's a one movement, and one movement with the ability to push something away, which is possibly nice if it's in my deck. It's just coming down to giving up cards that move me or move, but I don't have to do the thing anymore where I don't use just basic actions. So I need to. I can always move 2 just by basic actioning. I'm going to have a lot of summons available to me if I take the Falcon. I should probably paint up a Falcon. I wonder if I have a Falcon somewhere. I don't know if I have any birds that are in the flight mode for minis. But, yeah, it would probably be my replacement for Javelin. And it's a good replacement. There are others I could do, like Pinning Charge, which is a level 2 card. I wouldn't probably replace that because it's got a lot of possible stuff. So the only other real option for replacements is Incendiary Throw, which I might on occasionally, because the Incendiary Throw is not a strong attack, but it does wound if you want to really come in and potentially wound. Plus, if you get the Torchbearer on in play, he's also, you know, just laying wounds on people if he lives, and he's got decent health because the Falcon health ain't great. Be interesting to have a bunch of guys out though. You know, if like 4 guys running around, even though they can die, if they're not hitting you, and they can all be wrecking, you know, causing problems out on the field if they're out there. So what would I replace with that one? A 72. Oh, see, I can really slow her down if I start playing cards that take that out. You know, at all costs, it worked out pretty good this last time, but it's a tough one to play because it damages me, which will be less of a problem with my new upgrades in my deck. So my new upgrades, you know, I have extra health in there, more shields in there. So my modification deck, I mean, and it's potentially going to keep her in better shape. So taking a damage for her team to help them get health back. But, you know, like the bird has 1 health, dead, not going to be able to heal. The banners could be replaced, repaired. Buddies could be repaired. And even the, what do you call it? Torchbearer could be repaired as well. But ultimately, I would think I probably wouldn't take out Rally Cry because I like the banner of strength. Add 1. Probably Resolved Courage would be one that rarely get played. Some of these cards, I don't know how often they'll get played, but sometimes they could end up getting played when I lose because I'm like, oh, this guy needs to be, you know, I need to do this to that guy or that to this guy. Combined Effort's nice. It wounds people. It's an easy one to set off, but it also moves a lot of allies. Some of these are tough to decide when I get rid of. I could probably see getting rid of Unbreakable Wall for that one if I just wanted to try it out. I could really build up my shields a lot with that though. If I just want to go in, put up my Unbreakable Wall, and then have my shields in my deck, and then have my healing in my deck, I just have a lot of opportunities to keep adding shields to me, which will make it more likely that I'm able to. I know there's a lot of monsters out there that can pierce also, but they don't always pierce, and just having those could be beneficial. All right, well, I think I'm going to do Air Support. Air Support's going to go in my deck. It's such a tough one because I definitely would probably replace my 2/2 movement one because I only have 1 card in here that moves me and my allies. And moving me, I'm just putting both of those in would be me and my allies 2 times, which is way more effective in progression. just that alone makes that a good card. If I never use the upper part, just using that constantly could be crucial. So it makes it so hard to decide. I don't know what to do. Come on, somebody out there, come and tell me. I want the Falcon just because I want the Falcon. Even though it's probably never going to get used, I want him. I want to have a reason to paint a Falcon. I know she's carrying a Falcon. I painted it, but I still want to have. I want to have a Falcon mini. Hmm. Hmm. They're so mean. Only letting you have one card. Never to be accessed again. What are my ones and my twos and threes? You know, do I after? Oh, can I switch out like a 2 and 3 now too? Can I don't think you can ever take them out. I think you have to either just add them. Your choices are always add. They're never to come back. Wow, that meat grinder's kind of cool. Um, and it provides a meat grinder. Not only meat grinder's a level 2 card that I passed up. That one does wounding on 4 damage and wounding on 2 guys if you can get the guys in play. And there's also a 3 move with a heal on it. So you can move 3 and heal something. That's one of the few cards that has a heal on the bottom part. It only heals at a range of 1 though. And it can include yourself though, you know, a quick 1 for you and a regen. So if you survive the next, you know, action. Um, and then there's a let them come where you have you and your buddy are side by side and you're gonna pummel them 2 damage and poison 3 guys in front of you. And you get a heal again. Heal. Target the ally in the blue hex of the attack ability and self. So, oh wow, that one gets to attack 3 guys. Huh. Wow, that one's got a banner on it too. That one's attacks 3 guys, potentially giving them poison, and heals you and heals you and the adjacent ally that helped you. That's actually really good too. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are on respecking your guy and trying to change things up just to get it. But I'll look that up at some point. I should probably do that. Look it up. I don't know how that works. Respect your deck. But keeping my banners close is so good. So good. But doing a boatload of damage with piercing is really good too. See, this is a problem. I'm just too tough a decision, man. I guess if I really weighed it off, the Falcon really isn't that great. I mean, he's nice. I can have him out there. Maybe if you cast him late, he can get off a quick shot. It's only 2 damage, but it's something. He's got flight, so he's not affected by terrain, which is nice. He does have decent movement. That's nice. But he's a one-shot kill, so if something hits him, he's dead. But you get it back. It's one of those things that you don't lose. It's just kind of cycles through every time you cast him. So if you just want to have a bunch of allies out there and you're just throwing allies out there, saying, all right, allies, go do the damage and then die and come back later. Come back and help me later to get this big attack off. But the other option is just go with the stuff I already have and move them more effectively with my grant 2 allies within 3 thing movement, which is really good too. To me, I think at this point, I think they're a wash. And I'm going to flip a coin. I can't tell you. They both have some significant advantages. And I'm trying to think which one has two parts that I really like and how often will I get to use it. I know for a fact I'd be using this piercing shot all the time. It's too good. Piercing shot, 4 damage, plus I infuse the wind. That's just too good. The other one is a setup attack. It's only going to happen rarely if I get surrounded and maybe I get it off. But the 2 movement for your allies, air support it is. I'm doing it. It's just the stuff on here is usable. I'm going to use it frequently and consistently, and the other stuff is just a little. It's a good, powerful attack. It's but just too risky to gamble on. I don't think I could do it. Not easily. But I actually like number 2 and 3 here, and I'm thinking if I was to actually respec, which would be, I guess, replacing a 2 and 3. What are my 2s and 3s? What's my other 2 that I would be giving up? So I'd be gaining the meat grinder, which is a 4 damage attack. No range, but it does potentially wound. And if you're dealing with big guys and they're coming up on you, that could be very good. But it only moves me and heals within a range of 1. If I did that and gave up my other card, I would lose my grant 3 allies in a range of 4 to movement. And I've used that quite a bit. In fact, I've used this attack quite a bit. It's pretty good. Plus, with my new level 4, which infuses the wind, more opportunities to use that. Plus wind bonus, which is a range 4, 2 with pinning. So if I was to do 3, which is my head of the hammer, big hit, which is now even better now that I've read it a few times. Man, I like the heal. See, both of those cards do healing. And that's good. But I think I'm going to stick with head of the hammer. Once again, I don't think even if I had the opportunity to respect those cards, I don't think, I'm not seeing it. Not right now. Good cards, no doubt. There are some good cards that make you wonder, but the cards that they would replace are pretty good too. So, would I change my mind in the future? Who knows? And sometimes it could come down to the synergies of the new cards you get would work better with the new cards. Like maybe they come up with a way that it's better, or I start seeing a better way to build my area attacks. That's when I'd kind of want to respec and go, man, maybe I need to throw more area attacks in now because I'm finding myself setting those up better. But right now we're not there. At least not yet. Because more area attacks means more times when I can't do squat. Because I don't have things I can just do on my own without the help of my buddies. Oh yeah, forgot she's got these boots. I wish she could give them to her friend. She's got these boots. She can... Oh yeah, you can't wear more than 1 pair of boots, but they do add movement once to you. I don't long rest very often. It's hard for me to long rest. With 2 players, it really is hard to long rest because that means basically giving up a turn, and you don't have that many turns. Granted, you don't have to give up cards on a long rest, so that doesn't burn the turn, but it just means the other guys get to hit you. So, best time to long rest is between rooms, when you don't have constant onslaught of bad guys on you. Alright, so she is leveled. Adrian is... Wait, no, that's only one thing. That was me taking forever on the add ability. Increase hit points, well, that's just mark it when it's time. And then gain perk mark. So she gets another perk mark, gain 1 new perk mark. The new perk mark is applied to the list on the right side of the character sheet by marking 1 corresponding box. Additional rules for gaining perks are outlined below. That's how getting other things. Leveling up, gaining check marks, creating characters, achieving masteries. We've done and done and done. So let's go ahead and give her a new perk mark. Woohoo! So this is a tough decision. I like taking -1s out of the deck. Negatives mean my attacks don't get worse. That's important. So taking out a -1 and putting in a shield that rolls gives me a chance of getting other cards, and well, that won't be a -1. I can add a +2, which won't take out the -1, but it reduces the chance of it coming up because it's one more card that's not going to come up, and it's +2, which is a big hit. I like adding the rolling cards just because it means more and more and more chances to roll. You could potentially get 2 or 3 re-rolls, not re-rolls, but additional rolls. So these decks, her deck got really big because she was able to get 4 perks this time because of all the accomplishments she did on this last turn. Just things came together for her and she had a big game. And now I get to add a bunch of cards to the deck or replace cards. What's your thought? Taking a negative out and putting in a shield, which doesn't really add damage, but it is a rolling card. A rolling card allows you to roll another card after it. So taking a -1 out and putting in a good card, or just adding more good cards. Now, I'm averse to negatives. I don't like to see negatives. That takes an attack and makes it worse. So I like replacing bad cards, but it's tough because some of these good cards that you add don't take negatives out, but they lower the odds of getting them. It's kind of tough. One of them is an add 2 damage and push a guy away a little bit. One's an add 1 damage and regen, so you can heal yourself. I've already added a number of heal cards. It's tough. I got to decide though. Got to come up with something. I like roll cards. How many negatives are left in this deck? Let's just see. 1. There's a -2. Man, is there not something I can replace that -2 with? Nope, I'm stuck with that -2 forever and ever and ever. Adrian, or Royce leveled up, and he had one that removed the -2 from his deck. Obviously still the -2. 1, 2. She's only got 3 negative cards and a lot of, or 4 if you count the -2, and 5 if you count the null, which every deck has. You can't get rid of them. Yes, every character starts with a set deck. They're all the same to start. But as you level up, you get to start adding what these perks get to change your deck, and they have custom cards for each character. So you slowly get to add cards that are special or specific to that character type. And so that deck changes over time. So the higher you go in level, the more that deck becomes very custom, and it's very, very unique to your character. These are the cards you roll when you attack. Every time you attack a character, you roll one, and it'll add or remove damage to your attack. So obviously these perks are going to change and alter the way you get to do that. And and Adrian's got a lot of these cards are rolling cards. So a rolling card means once you flip it, you get to flip another one, and then you flip another one. You keep going until the rolling ends. And once the rolling ends, that's the end, and you just add everything up, and that's what you get for the attack. Most likely, those rolls are all positive effects. I mean, if they may not be more damage, but they could be like add a shield, heal yourself 1, add +1 damage, and you just keep going until you find a card that doesn't have a rolling effect. And so you could potentially get on a streak where you're just going roll, 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 and you just did like 8 damage to a guy because you just got all kinds of good cards in there. I'm tempted. I'm tempted to add 2 more rolling cards because add 2 more +1s or add 2 more heal selves. I think I'm gonna go with the add 2 more +1s. That's just a lot of cards. It'd be fun to just kind of get on a streak of rolling cards. And if that -1 were to come up while I'm rolling as the last card, it's potential. It's like, okay, I go +1, +1, +1, +1, +1, -1. I don't care about the -1. I just added 4 damage, 5 damage. So I think that's actually pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 +1s. 2+1 rollers. So that's just a lot of cards in her deck. She's getting a really big modification deck. Royce, on the other hand, doesn't even have that many to add more than one, but he gets to replace a lot of the negatives in his deck. Royce leveled up last time. Let's go ahead and go add. So, like I said, these are the custom cards that are specific to the character. And so these are all the stuff I can add. But as I keep adding cards, this is obviously going down. And her deck is getting really, really custom. So I'm adding 2 more +1 rollers. The last 2 +1 rollers, these guys. And we're just going to see what happens when I get to roll lots of cards. It'll be fun. The nice thing about doing this, I normally would take out the negative. And since this is the last time I can do the +1 add,